Carbohydrates got a bad name. Don't want carbohydrates. You don't have carbohydrates, you'll lay around and drool. You'll have no energy. Most of our diet is carbohydrate, but it's healthy, correct carbohydrates. Not the carbohydrates I grew up on. Potatoes, pastas, breads, cakes, donuts, bagels. They're void carbohydrates. What they do is they break down to sugar, unwanted sugar. And why you get fat is that list I just went through. You get fat because you eat carbohydrates. I watched my transition out of sugar. So I gave up the obvious sugars, and then I took up eating loaves of bread. So you're like a closet sugar addict at that point. So you just have to wait 30 minutes for the sugar to really shoot up like that, right? Or let's go out to the Italian restaurant, where they give you double orders of pasta and eat that. Well, what's wrong with pasta? It turns into sugar. It's denatured. It's cooked. It's cooked. And what happens when you cook something? I just went through this scenario. Every one of these elements I talk about are now not functioning in your body. Where do all of these elements come from? Raw, plant-based foods. Is there anyone that would debate this? Yes. Intellectual eggheads who don't know anything. That's who would debate this. Nobody else. And they're willing to do it, which is surprising to me sometimes. How about essential fatty acids? Didn't even know what they were until 1929. Didn't even know what they were until 1929. And they said, there's this thing that gives energy to the cells. And it was omega-6 they discovered. Well, until 1981. To me, that was like yesterday, 1981. Omega-3. And there's a few others, but the most important two are omega-3 and omega-6. And I have concluded that they're correct now when they say, you need about 3 times more omega-3 than you need omega-6. So if you have 1 part omega-6, you need 3 parts omega-3. And the other thing, the fish industry hijacked this. I write about this in my book, Killer Fish. They saw this as an opportunity, so they jumped on the bandwagon. They said, hey, you need a fish to process the omegas before you can digest it. And all the holistic doctors who know nothing about nothing went right on that bandwagon, and they're prescribing fish oils to you. Yes, fish oil. So let's point out 2 things that I absolutely found to be factual. All fish oil causes cancer. Brian, Dr. Smith, my holistic, loyal doctor, didn't tell me that. Well, Dr. Smith ought to get off his butt and read a little bit. Because the International Organization for Omega and Oleic Acids, omega oils, have never, ever suggested fish oil is good for you. So the authorities, the world's authorities, tell you not to take fish oil. Now let's go up to the largest study that was ever done in Finland. You have this, every once in a while you have countries that really do care about the citizens in their countries. Isn't that amazing? It's rare, but there's this wonderful country called Finland. Listen, we have a lot of really sick people. They're dying of heart attack, even more than America. They have more cancer, all this stuff. Let's get them on good diets and check. And they looked at the people who took fish oil and ate fish, and they had double the heart attacks and strokes. Harvard University, 2 landmark studies said the fish oil stuff is a sham. But you don't know this because your local holistic doctor who read books 32 years ago, still going along with the program there. That's what he learned when he was 30 years old, fresh out of university. Fish causes cancer. Now, when you take a fish out of the water and sit it over here on the dock for 20 or 30 minutes, how does it smell? Is it a rosy fragrance? Is it an attractive, whenever I go into a store that have a fish section, I have to run by it because it smells and it is bacteria. That's rotting flesh. No different than if I took you and put you underwater for 20 or 30 minutes and pulled you out. How do you think you'd look? You'd be rotting flesh. Anyone that would like to challenge this, let me know anywhere along the line at the end of this. And so when it is rotting, it oxidizes, and we've known for 68 years that oxidized oil causes cancer. It's called a lipid peroxide. Lipid meaning fat, peroxide. 68 years, it's in the book, nobody's ever challenged that, it's a fact. And by the way, it contributes to cardiovascular disease, as the Finns taught us. And Harvard says. And the world's authority on oil tells you. Brian, this is all new information. You're going to get new information when you have somebody that reads new things and does new things and studies new things and challenges my own ideas. You're going to get old information for people who are trying to sell you something. Because they're telling you what you want to hear. That's the oldest trick in the book. Tell people what they want to hear, you'll be rich. Could you imagine if I put this much energy in telling you to eat cupcakes? I'd be a trillionaire by now. You know, cupcakes are really good for you. Matter of fact, you should not only eat cupcakes, but put them in a blender, blend them up, and implant cupcakes. Cupcake face cream. You can blend them up and put face cream cupcakes on. Whoa, popular overnight. Everyone will be eating cupcakes, and I'll be on all the talk shows talking about the cupcake diet. We should laugh because that's how sad we are.